Today we are looking at measurement. This is because we use numbers to describe length, perimeter, area, volume and capacity. People use measurements every day. Jobs such as those do geographers and property developers and estate agents, any science and engineering, our roads and freeways, even our houses, everywhere we need to use measurement. Today we're going to be looking at converting between the units of area. So here is your WALT for this lesson, so please pause and write these down. First of all, we're going to revise converting our metric units of length. Then we're going to revise our units of area. Then we're going to select appropriate units to use for perimeter and area problems, and then practice converting those units of area. So we're going to cover a bit today. Very important that you remember that these are the names and why we call these. So if you say milli in any unit, you're talking about 1,000th. And in measurement, we use the base unit of metre. So 1,000th of a metre is very tiny. So therefore it's 1,000, one part out of 1,000 parts of a metre. So if you break a metre into 1,000 parts and take one, there's your millimetre, 1,000th. Centi, as in century, is 100th of our base unit, which is the metre. Therefore, the centimetre is one part out of 100, so 1/100th. Kilo means 1,000 of the base unit, so 1,000 metres altogether. It would be an idea to pause here and copy down that to help you to remember. This is a very useful diagram to help you to remember how to convert between units. Again, we have this information written. These are the conversion factors and these are the abbreviations that are used. Now when you have a look at this, you go from millimetres, you're going up to bigger units. As you get to a bigger unit, you need to make a smaller number. To make a smaller number, you need to divide. So 10 millimetres in a centimetre, 100 centimetres in a metre, and 1,000 kilometres in a metre. When you're coming back the other way, going from the bigger units to the smaller units, your number is getting bigger. To make a number bigger, you need to multiply, again by the same conversion factors. This diagram will be very handy for you to copy into your book. Again, they have written it, wanting to convert smaller units to large units, you divide. I say if you're going to a smaller unit, towards a smaller unit, you need a larger number, therefore you must multiply. If you're going towards a larger unit, your number must get smaller. To get a smaller number, you divide. Okay, that might be helpful for understanding. We have here a couple of worked examples for you. So converting 5 centimetres to millimetres. I get my students to write this part here down as an example in your books so that you can refer back to it when you are doing the problems. This is what you'll be thinking as you're doing it. So we're converting from centimetres to millimetres. So I've gone from centimetres to millimetres. As I said, you're going to a smaller unit. Centimetres are smaller than millimetres. You would need a bigger number, and to get a bigger number you need to multiply. The conversion factor, refer back to your diagram, is that there are 10 millimetres in a centimetre, and then you would do the sum. So you write down your 5 centimetre, it's equal to 5 times 10, making it 50 millimetres. This one here we are converting again from centimetres to metres. We're going to a larger unit. You're going to a larger unit, you need a smaller number. So you need to divide to get the smaller number. There are 100 centimetres in a metre. So therefore we need to divide that 3,500 by 100 to get metres. Copy down these examples so you can refer back to them. This one has been given to you also because it's millimeters to meters. Now you need to divide by 10 first to get from your millimeters to centimeters first, as per your diagram. Then you would need to divide by 100 to get from that centimeter to the meter. That's the conversion factor. So you're doing two things. So we're dividing by 10 and dividing by 100. We would be dividing by 1000. And they have shown you how to do this. To divide by 1000, you've got 3 zeros there, so you can take 2 zeros off. Then you can move the place value by using decimal points. So the 65,500 becomes 65.5. And remember to use your units when you give your answer. Always give your answer like that and show you're working out. Now, I've done the first one for you. Let's have a look at this. So we're using the information. You've written down some examples, you've written down the diagram. So to convert to meters, centimeters to meters, you multiply by 100. To get to millimeters to meters, you need to multiply by 100 and multiply by 10. You were shown that in the example above when they divided it. To get to kilometers, it's the other way around, because you're going to a larger unit, you need a smaller number. To get a smaller number, you divide. Okay, a little quick quiz here. So, what in your home would measure 900 millimeters? I don't visualize 900 millimeters, so I changed it to centimeters. So I would say that it is 90 centimeters, which is just less than a meter. So think of things around your home with just less than a meter. Such as the height of your kitchen bench, things like that. A tool in your house that you use to measure 10 meters. So what do you use to measure something that's 10 big steps away? You'd have some sort of tape measure or something like that. Okay, this one here I've done the working out, which is longer. So you've got 2 here and we'll need to convert. So as you can see, I've converted the 1.5 meters to centimeters, and I've converted the 90 centimeters to meters. So it doesn't matter which way you do it. And it asks you why. Now the why here means you will need to say that the 60 centimeters or 0.6 of a meter difference, and that the 1.5 meters is the largest, and both of these examples show you. Express in kilometers, I have shown you here that you have to multiply by 1000. So you can move the decimal place 1, 2, 3, and you need 2 zeros in as place keepers. So you get 12,500 meters. These are examples you could be copying down to use later. Add the following lengths. As you can see, they're all in different ones. So it's telling you, reminding you to use the same unit. So you put them all down, and I've converted them all to meters. Have a look and prove the fact that it is all 5 meters. You do some conversions too to show that it is. And remember to add it up at the end. Okay, that was a quick revision. Here's some exercises you can try on your own. Copy those down and have a go. Okay, if you want the answers, check your answers and to clarify your understanding. Showing the working is very important, and making sure that you do have your units on there. Please make sure you've done that as well. Okay, we've done our revision. Now let's go to look at area. So it's the amount of surface. So the area is if you're going to paint a wall, put tiles on the floor, wallpaper, all of those things you need to measure area. So area is measured in squares. So you either multiply the centimetres or the metres or the kilometres, and it's spoken square metres, square kilometres, square centimetres, not centimetres squared. That's a different concept altogether. So please remember to say the square word first before you mention the unit. And remember, it doesn't have to be a square shape to find its area. You're using squares of a unit size to find out how many of those squares would fit into the irregular shape. Okay, so which of these would you measure in square metres? Have a look. The shade space and the floor tiles, yes, I agree. And the bedroom floor, yes. The others, no, that would be a really, really tiny number. Now I've done this example. So what is the area? Originally you were taught to count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Simple. However, you're going to get bigger and bigger numbers, and the diagrams won't come with little squares on them. So you're going to have to learn to use the formula. So remember, the formula was the length times the width. 6 times 3 is 18. Remember always the square centimetre units in your answer. As she's saying here, don't forget. So I don't like don't forget. I prefer remember to include your units in your answer always. Okay. So what unit of measurement would you use to measure the area of a shed? Have a think about those. Millimetres, centimetres, metres, kilometres. Yeah, square metres. That would be the correct answer. Okay. There is another measurement in area that doesn't match any of the lengths or volumes. We have one that is more convenient for measuring the block of land you're on, or a paddock, suburbs, towns, because square metres is too small and square kilometres is too big. So there is one called a hectare. Hecto means 100 and the air means 10 square metres. So hectare means 10 times 10 square metres. That's 10,000, 4 zeros. And so the abbreviation is HA for hectare, as it's the two words hecto and air, HA. It does not have to be a square, of course, it's just a measurement. So 100 metres by 100 metres, which is about a normal school oval. They're usually around about the 100 metres by 100 metres. So that's about what a hectare would look like. Okay, and fill in that formula. Copy down this part here, definitely copy down this bottom part here to remember. Okay. Now we're going to look at the fact you don't need to have a square to find an area. So I want you to multiply 100 by 100 on your calculator just to prove that it does come to 10,000. And I want you to multiply 50 by 200 just to prove that also comes to 10,000. So do that just to prove it to yourself that a hectare is 100 metres by 100 metres, but it doesn't have to be a square. Okay, as in the conversion of units of length, we have this same diagram, but there's a little bit of a difference on it. So I want you to copy this down, very much so. It's very important. Now, the one thing that students often forget, the conversion factors don't change. However, if you're working with area, you have to square the conversion rate because you've multiplied two units together. So you will see that the conversion rate isn't 10 anymore, it's 10 squared to 100. It's not 100 anymore, it's 10,000, 100 squared. And it's not 1,000 anymore, it's 1,000,000. Now please remember, if you have squared the units, you need to square the conversion factor. So you don't have to learn these, just remember to square the conversion factors you learnt for length when you're working in area. So a little bit more to copy down the bottom here as well. And the same, when you're going to a smaller unit, you need a larger number. To make a larger number, you multiply. If you're going to a larger unit, you need a smaller number. To get a smaller number, you must divide. So here's an example for you to copy. 3 examples for you to copy, actually. We're converting. So copy down these examples for you to refer back to when you're doing the exercises. And here's some exercises for you to try. So copy them into your book. Use your example. I've set it out a little bit differently. If you wish to do it that way, that is fine. So have a go at those first. Okay, and your answers. Check your answers. If you find any mistakes, try to work out what you've done wrong. Okay, thank you for listening.